This is my first time actually featuring anywhere ever, so that's exciting. Hopefully the first of many. I'm going to do about 5 poems for you guys. Venus. Venus flows from my fingertips like new rain down a dirty gutter. She wipes away the mud on my legs from my many falls. Venus brings flowers into bloom, cats into heat, and lovers together just to see me smile. Just to see me laugh. She throws herself off bridges so I can see her float her chiffon dress made love to by the warm strawberry summer wind, and I feel her as I'm standing there in Marin on the edge of that California cliff looking down at the rock grass thick and juicing. Down towards the ocean now foaming at the mouth. I smell her hair, her fingertips, the smooth warmth of her inner thighs, and the ocean spray kicked up by surfers licking waves under the bridge's bend. She tilts my head to one side and whispers secrets in my ear as I look up at heaven in the muggy San Francisco sky. And I feel her here in this small town where all the men know how to touch me, know how to be in charge and grasp my hips and hold my face when they kiss me. I feel her as she overcomes me, as she cuts away my bridges and barriers and spins wool of my wants and desires. I feel her as I moan and groan in a room packed with people and devour every sweet curve of this man's neck in this small town where everyone talks. In this small town where the men tan like the sweetest olives and lay with you under the summer sun on towels faded from years of laying with crazy women under the Balkan sun. Thank you. So the next one I'll do, I've performed here before. It was written 3 days before a breakup. So I always preface it with, there's profanity, so just get yourself warmed up for that. It's called You. You are a fucking puddle. I looked in you and saw my reflection, and then I fell in and drowned. I guess no one ever taught me to swim in something so shallow. And you are a fucking rhinoceros, one of those white ones that only come out for queens and goddesses. I'm sitting there admiring you, and then you just ram me through the fucking heart. And you are a fucking miniskirt. My mother tells me you make my legs look long, but you make my morals look questionable. And you're the fucking ocean. Because you remind me of everything I am. You nurse me back to health, and laying my hands on your skin, I remember where I belong. But you are a fucking credit card. One with a bad interest rate that I usually keep in a drawer somewhere because you're too risky to keep in my pocket, but every once in a while I pull you out and just ignore the realities. And you are a fucking cowboy, because you ride me like no one else can. And you are a fucking sunset, because you make me cry and smile at the same time, one more or less depending on the colors in your skies. And you are a fucking god. I get on my knees and pray to you. Pray that you'll fit in my throat and that you'll always stay with me, because you are a fucking mountain. One with steep cliffs and jagged edges I cut my hands on as I try to hold you. One with slippery slopes I bash my face on as I try to move towards you. One with crevasses that threaten to devour me if I make one wrong move. You're just too damn large a job for any one woman. You are a treacherous fucking climb. Thank you. Part 2 of that. The after the breakup version. Not so much swearing. Maybe just a little bit. This one is called 26,482. It's taken me 26,482 words to get over you. 26,482 vowels, consonants, and dashes wrapped in poetry, prose, and streams of my consciousness to translate with my mouth's not saying and my body's not doing, and I can't bring myself to feel. So if my calculations are correct, that means it's taken me 378,292 punches of my keyboard to try to press out the day we met. And our first date, when that woman kept singing and we were both so overwhelmed, we just put our sunglasses on and kept crying. It's taken me 378,292 strokes of my ballpoint pen to try to scratch out the first time you made love to me. And the next time. And the next time. And the next time. Mostly in your bedroom that smells like incense with the mandalas on the walls. I left my favorite dress there that once and didn't wash it for ages just to keep that sweet smell of jasmine near me. It's taken me 378,292 pieces of 3 alphabets, P's and Q's, the E's and N's, the J and the Nya, to try to press out how I just let you order because I was never hungry when I was around you, and how proud of you I was when I watched you teach, and the fact that you got me back to training when I swore I never would. I've tried to forget in 26,482 different ways. 5 poems ranging from slam to sonnets to smut, all conceived in the dark, wrapped in blankets and tears. 1 very long short story of 26 pages chronicling the moment you asked me where I'm from to the moment you told me you don't love me anymore. 7 letters I wrote to you and never sent, begging you to come back. 3 letters I did send, begging you to tell me you don't think about me so I can just move on with my life. You did, it just didn't work. I sent you 5 instant messages asking you nonchalantly if you wouldn't mind please kindly giving me some information about that thing we once discussed. After that, I had no more excuses to write to you, so I just kept writing myself instead. It's taken me 6 dates with men I was only ever half interested in, each lasting an average of 82 minutes, during which I politely sipped my gin and lied about why I moved here in 6 different ways, all while taking inventory of their masculinity in relation to yours. But poor guys, how could they compare to that Buddha nature and that left hook and those lines in your jaw? It's taken me 1 real romance, 1 half-hearted one, and 1 drunken night with much too good of a friend to try to forget the weight of your arm slung over my shoulder and how you held me in my sleep and the feeling of your sweat on my forehead and your hot breath on my ear when we were dancing. God, I always loved you the best when we were dancing. It's taken me 26,482 words to get over you and counting. I won't tell you what the next one is called. You'll figure it out. 2:38 a.m. That's a time when men in bars start coming up to me saying, "Hey, I just want to sit here like your hair. Not everyone can pull it off." Thanks, I tell them, and I mean it because that's pretty much the only time I'm getting compliments around here. "Hey, did anyone ever tell you you look just like, let's see, Anne Hathaway, Emma Watson, Natalie Portman, Sinead O'Connor, Amber Rose, or that monster from Ghostbusters?" Sinead O'Connor? And then they have to ask, as if expecting some deep humanitarian answer, "Why did you cut it?" "Well," I tell them, "I was going on a trip to Thailand and I just couldn't fathom that big curly mess of hair in my head for 3 months straight in the heat and humidity." That's a version of the truth. But it's not really why I cut my hair. See, I cut my hair to stop the nausea. That sick feeling in my stomach when old men would tell me I'm beautiful politely as if talking to their daughters or their granddaughters, but then lingered on my body for way too long. I cut my hair because years back I was 9 and starting to grow breasts. Yeah, 9 because I'm Eastern European and we develop early. It's all that red meat and anger. And all my friends were Japanese and Chinese and Filipina, and their bodies still had years to go before showing any signs of life. I cut my hair because from the ages of 10 to 12, I was sexually harassed by a boy in my class. He was a high-functioning autistic, which means while he accidentally pushed up against me in the lineup to go to PE class, or grabbed my ass during rainy day lunch hours, or talked out loud about he wants to lick my breasts, or told me he's gonna fuck me, or played with my hair when he sat behind me, the principal told me, he just wants to be your friend. I lived in fear of running into him in the hallway, had to hum to myself whenever he walked by me to tune out what he was saying. I cut my hair because my father told me that, unfortunately, this was just the beginning of this kind of behavior. I was gonna have to get used to it. I cut my hair because by the age of 16, I'd already forgotten my worth. I went to parties and boys touched my hair and forgot to ask me my name. I guess they just figured it wasn't that important. They put their fingers through my curls and took me by the hand into bed, and I followed thinking, I guess this is what I'm about. I cut my hair because by the age of 20, I'd finally had enough. So when she grabbed my curls in her hand and sliced them off in one clean sweep, she chopped off all the voices saying, I'm gonna fuck you. You're sexy. I wanna lick your tits. I love your hair. He just wants to be your friend. Better get used to it. It all fell to the ground in pieces, and then someone came and swept it all away. So to answer your question, my drunk friend, that's why I cut my hair. Thank you. Woo! Okay, this one is called What It Feels Like When I'm Dancing. Weather. I'm locked into another hand wrapped around his shoulder and our elbows glued, my right hand pressed into his, holding my form, yet remembering to be soft, be soft, be soft. And I'm whipping my hips as he moves me back and forth or left to right in the cumbia. And then he spins me and spins me and spins me until that moment when I completely let go, when I lose all control, and I hope that he can catch me. God, I know that he can catch me, and he does. I drop into his arms, my back curving, and I wind my arm downwards over my head, my wrist twisting my hand like the wind as a leaf falling in autumn. Or I'm out on that every other Wednesday, my elbow locked to Leo's, and I have so little education, but I trust him. Trust him. And I trust myself. So I follow him when he guides me in that 8-step and twists me around and around. Meanwhile, my boots are flipping my feet up and down. I can hardly stay on the ground. I'm jumping, I'm jiving, I'm getting carried away by that dapper young guy's voice. The one that plays a clarinet when he's not singing. And as Leo stops me by his hip and throws his feet out in those, what are they called? Flat-footed tap steps. You know what I'm talking about. Well, I do it too when we make music into the music with our boots, and then we're spinning again, and I'm floating in the sweaty joy of the night leaves my shirt soaked and my face aglow. I'm there at the hall once every 4 months, and the orchestra is playing, and I'm hopping. I'm turning the colo into some Celtic dance. My arms are out up above my hand, index finger and thumb held together like I'm playing some kind of Balkan maracas. And then they play Buba Mara. When that Romani singer drops down to the ground quiet, see, the band's already out in the crowd by now. I find myself somewhere between the accordion and the trumpet. And she covers her head with that ladybug hat. I drop down too. Shim, shim, shimming my hips to the sound in the silence. And then I hear Jinji rinji buba maro tsiknie shuzie ai demore koiromesa. And I throw my body up to the rafters, jump, break, catch myself. I toss my head back, and looking there, I think every time, this is pure joy. Whether I'm swinging, smile plastered on my face, or busting out any and all of the flamenco I can remember, hair from my black wig slipping by my clapping hands, and heart concentrated on the pain pouring out of the rumpa tapa rum rum rumpa tapa rum rum rumpa tapa rum rum of my feet against the granite floor, I am so incredibly whole.